Hello, everyone, and welcome, welcome, welcome to our Workplace Wellness Trends, Best Practices, Career, and Certification Opportunities webinar. And before we get started, if I could just kindly ask everyone to put themselves on mute. The mute is a little button there by the microphone, and that will help prevent any feedback or background noise in our recording and webinar. So again, welcome very much to our, I guess, our third webinar for our of this webinar series. And it's really, I'm quite honored to have you participate. And we've had a few webinars with great participation already. And our webinar will run for about 60 minutes. And we're going to save lots of time in the end for questions and answers. If we need to go over the 60 minutes, I am totally committed to staying on the call as long as we need to so that I can answer all your questions. And be sure to stay with us to the end. We have a really big announcement that's going to impact our program, our ambassadors' future success. And we have some really great, incredibly great webinar bonuses exclusive for people who are in our webinar, and you'll have 24 hours to access them if you choose. So please stay with me right through to the end, and I really ask that you try and be as present as possible. And by that I mean, I know there's a temptation to want to check email and what have you, and your Facebook, but please really stay. I've got a lot of content-rich material happening here this morning, and I really want you to be present, and so that you can ask maybe some really informed questions on the end. So with that, let's get started. And Paula's going to kindly moderate any questions. And for those who may be just coming on, if you can just introduce yourself in the chat, little chat box there, I think on the bottom or top of your screen, that would be great. So what we're going to cover today is just a quick look at some global trends and best practices in workplace wellness career opportunities, and ambassador certification programs. So a little bit about me. I'm Lisa Kelly of Kelly Wellness Consulting, Inc., president and founder. And a few years ago, we created this wonderful program and launched it over a year ago. So this will be our fourth iteration, fourth offering, if you will. So our mission here at Kelly Wellness is to really help with the development of healthy employees, vibrant work cultures, and higher performing organizations through innovative, results-oriented workplace wellness solutions. And you'll find out about that in just a bit. So now, before we go into our program, I want to sort of set the context and the stage for workplace wellness in general. And what I'm going to share with you is just a quick overview of some workplace wellness trends and practices. And this actually came out of a white paper that I prepared for John Toomey of Global Wellness, that's his company. And he's putting together a white paper of, if you will, industry experts. And so this was what I saw as trends and best practices either happening now or in the next 5 years. So the first trend is that of multidimensional workplace wellness programs. And what that exactly means is organizations today are really beginning to expand and continue to expand their program offerings to include broader offerings to their employees. Yet, I really feel there is still room for improvement. Wellness programs today are predominantly focused on physical wellness and population health management, yet with minimal offerings in other critical areas such as emotional, career, social, financial, and community well-being. Excuse me. And we'll present examples of non-traditional wellness campaigns in just a few minutes. Here is a chart that I created for purposes of our ambassadors and for employees to really set the stage of what I feel and what industry sort of points out as really the key dimensions of creating healthy and vibrant workplaces. And they involve everything from organizational supports to wellness and safety programs to then creating healthy work cultures, which then drives engaged and productive employees. And in our program, we come back to this chart a lot because this is really sets the bedrock and foundation for everything we do in our program and going forward. So the second trend is that of, and I just mentioned it, going to more traditional, non-traditional wellness programs and strategies. And here are just a few areas that we really encourage employers to consider. And in 2015, there was a white paper by Global Wellness Institute that suggested there's emerging departure from the one-size-fits-all mindset and approach in workplace wellness delivery. So as you can see here, we really are trying by this screen image and images to really offer a wider spectrum of program offerings that really meet diverse needs of our employees. Like, for example, in our physical offerings, we may have elite marathon athletes and we have sedentary employees. We have young single moms and we have aging employees. just to name a few. So we really want to offer a wide spectrum. And once we've understood what their needs and interests are, we want to offer a wide spectrum. And through our program, we pretty well address all these areas to then offer out to our employers and employer clients. And just as a quick reminder as well, if everyone can put themselves on mute, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. As a third trend is that of employee-driven wellness programs. And that's really near and dear to my heart because that really speaks to everything we do in our ambassador program. So with the increased focus today on cultivating employee engagement in healthier behaviors, lifestyles, and work responsibilities, I really anticipate that in the next 5 years, we will see an increased focus and a shift towards employee-created and driven wellness programs. It was actually this recognition that led to the development of our ambassador programs and our Employees in Motion Global Workplace Wellness Movement campaign. And as ambassadors, you get involved in that as well. In our fully facilitated online programs, we train wellness enthusiasts and professionals globally to become wellness ambassadors and master ambassadors in their current or external roles as a wellness leader, coach, coordinator, or consultant. So there's many opportunities that can be availed of through our training. I also expect our wellness ambassadors will become a driving force in the delivery of employee responsive wellness programs. And on our screen here to our far left is Veena. She's actually one of our presenters, and she's a certified laughter yoga specialist. And she just certified with us last year as a master ambassador. She's actually in Hong Kong, and I've done some consulting work with her and her partner in some work and initiatives they're doing in Hong Kong. So really exciting things happening there. In the middle and far right, we have our lovely Kat Maeda. She is, I think the middle picture was a Halloween picture or something where she improvised as our CEO. And then she's very strongly involved in leading wellness programs in her company and satellite offices. Trend number 4 is that of digital detoxification, disconnecting to reconnect, recharge, and rejuvenate. So in the 24/7, always-on work world that we live in today, there is a growing need to really purposefully and mindfully disconnect to reconnect to ourselves, our family, humanity at large. So thankfully today, progressive companies are beginning to promote and support strategies for switching off, including digital detox retreats and company-wide guidelines, perhaps around the use of email after hours, whatever else. On-site yoga classes and mindfulness classes are also growing in popularity, as are nap pods and sleep rooms, such as in companies such as Google and other high-tech companies. Okay. And recently, during the delivery of a mindfulness campaign with her employer, one of our master ambassadors received feedback one morning of just how more relaxed her employee was at the beginning of her workday, having gone through a campaign that actually came out of our ambassador program. So that was really encouraging to get that feedback. Our 5th trend is that of increased focus on emotional well-being. And there is an increased focus today on cultivating emotional well-being, workplace happiness, and spirit at work. And examples, for example, in Canada include Bell Canada's Let's Talk. That's a shining example to which other organizations can aspire. So I really encourage you to write that down, Bell Canada Let's Talk, and check it out. It actually launched in 2010 as a 5-year, $50 million initiative to really create or help create a stigma-free Canada and drive action in mental health care research and within the workplace. Trend 6 is towards coalitions between governments and workplace wellness industry. And controlling increased health costs of public healthcare systems and employer-related costs might be best achieved and is becoming more widely achieved through collaborative efforts and synergies between government and wellness providers. So it's really my prediction that within the next 5 years, we're going to see an increase in coalitions and joint efforts and task force between both sectors to really help better identify and meet the needs of the public and their employees through, again, collaborative initiatives between these two sectors. Trend 7 is that of a recognition of the total return of workplace wellness. And this really gets me passionate here because there is a real discussion right now to move away from return on investment and move towards VOI, which is value on investment. And we bring all this up and explain it quite clearly in our program. But organizations really need to first and foremost establish corporate-specific wellness objectives and desired outcomes, both of which really need to be directly tied to corporate growth objectives to really, excuse me, effect any meaningful returns to employees and the organization as a whole. So for example, VOI, performance indicators and outcomes from workplace wellness programs might include things like a 15% reduction in employee absenteeism, 10% increase in employee participation, say in a corporate walking challenge, or 5% reduction in employee smoking, or maybe a 5% increase in new customer acquisition as a result of a more engaged workforce. Trend 8 looks at, really promotes increased involvement in community well-being. And this is another area near and dear to my heart. And, really employee-driven wellness programs that are also going out into the community really help connect employees to their communities through volunteer initiatives and can provide considerable wellness and productivity benefits to organizations, employees, needed charities, communities as a whole. And without saying too much, we have actually one of our master ambassadors working on a very initiative now that's going to integrate hopefully seniors in with the employer sector, and that's coming out of one of our campaigns, and that is really exciting. I'm really looking forward to seeing that develop. So as reported, actually, and this is really interesting, if you've never read the book Thrive by Arianna Huffington, I really encourage it. It came out in 2013. And in that, she reported a study by United Health Group that found that employee volunteer programs really helped increase engagement and productivity. More than 75% of employees who volunteered said they were happier, and 75% said they experienced less stress, and 95% said that volunteering really enriched their sense of purpose. AOL and Huffington Post, for example, offer employees 3 paid volunteer days a year to serve in their communities, and they match up to $250 a year in charitable contributions per employee. Other organizations that you know well, such as Starbucks, created a Jobs for USA, which raised over $15 million and created and sustained more than 5,000 jobs, which has sponsored more than 1 million hours of community service by their employees and customers. So they're really great examples of corporate social responsibility and community well-being. Trend 9 is that of high involvement, high commitment wellness programs, and this sort of spans over a few things we've already touched on, but there really is an emerging need and trend for more inclusive workplace wellness solutions to involve home-based workers and remotely located employees, say in satellite offices. So while we've made some advances in reaching out to employee groups through virtual technologies such as wellness portals, online gamification, virtual technologies such as what we're using today with Zoom, we really need to do more, and it really was with this in mind that Kelly Wellness actually created the Workplace Wellness Ambassador Program. And through our program, we've brought together consultants, wellness coaches, health coaches, HR employees. We've even brought we had a rocket scientist from who worked with NASA. We've had a VP of a very prestigious financial firm join our program, and we've brought together people from presenters from Australia. We have a person now involved from the UK. We have participants from Nigeria, Hong Kong. One just recently signed up for April from Dubai. So, and all across Canada and the US. So we really are growing globally. And that's encouraging because we are really creating high involvement and high commitment by employees and industry experts and coaches, what have you, to help really effect healthy changes in the workplace. And that's really exciting and gets me up every morning. Okay, so as I said, through our programs, our participants are trained in how to utilize virtual collaboration technologies to really involve employees in all aspects of wellness programming. And also, these technologies really help to identify employee needs and interests and help to serve virtual wellness communities and also deliver employee wellness campaigns through these technologies. So trend 10 is a look at global workplace wellness mindset. And this is really, truly another emerging trend as I see it. And some of these are my predictions, but really they're, I think, well-founded on what's been happening in the industry. Excuse me. So really, it involves global connectivity and unification through and in our work and in society in general. And, if you watch the news today, you don't have to look too far to see how disconnected, you know, we are globally as a world, and how tragic that is. And I really feel that as ambassadors, we can do our small part to really bring some global unity, you know, and that's of course not the main aim of the program, but it's a lovely side benefit. And we get to connect ourselves and connect with others, and then share our training, expertise, and best practices with the employees we work. So we have a tremendous ripple effect and really can do incredible work out there as ambassadors. Okay, so that's a look at the top 10 trends as I've reported on and I see them. Here is a look at a report, excuse me guys, in a report called The Wellness Imperative, Creating More Effective Organizations. And just take a second, I'm just gonna put myself on mute just so I can cough for a second without coughing in your ear, and just have a look at this screen, please. Excuse me, thank you. So in this screen, it says organizations are seen by employees as 2.5 times more likely to be a best performer. Okay, and so when we offer health and well-being, organizations are also seen as 3 times more likely to be productive. Employees are 8 times more likely to be engaged in their job and company goals. Organizations are seen as 3.5 times more likely to encourage employee creativity and innovation. And organizations are seen as 4 times less likely to lose talent within the next year. And these are all things that we can affect and have been affecting, for example, as ambassadors through the work we're doing out of our program. And that, again, is really exciting and rewarding for everyone. Another trend is that of lifestyle risk factors that are a workforce issue. And as reported in a 2014 Towers-Watson report, here are some of the really top lifestyle risk factors that are workforce issues for these countries. So if you'll notice, stress ranked #1 across all the countries reported here. In the US, top 3 factors were stress, obesity, and lack of physical activity. And in Canada, they reported as having stress, lack of physical activity, and obesity as main areas of focus and lifestyle risks. Other top priorities of health and productivity programs are, well, in the US, and again, this comes out of the Towers-Watson report, in the US, workplace health culture, health engagement, and educating employees, which really bodes well for us as ambassadors, were the top 3 priorities, if you will. In Canada, it was around workplace health culture, mental health, and health engagement. So mental health is a really big focus for us here in Canada, and becoming more so for the US as well. And mental health, of course, as you know, very much contributes to and sets a trend for our physical health. So now that's a look at the trends. Let's move forward now and just take a quick peek at our programs and what I've spoken and alluded to them already. So what exactly is a workplace wellness program, and what do our ambassadors do? Well, for starters, our ambassadors are getting noticed, they're getting hired, and they're getting promoted, okay, in various capacities as internal wellness leaders, consultants, coaches, independent consultants, and coaches. And it's really exciting to see what's happening and the positive feedback that's happening in industry already. And we're a new program. We only came out last year. And if you've tracked social media, you can see that I'm very active in promoting our ambassadors through different social media channels. So here's a look at our first level program. So we have 2 levels, an ambassador program and a master ambassador program. So our ambassador program basically was designed for employees wanting to help promote workplace wellness, but not necessarily in a high level capacity. So for those, they may want to serve on a wellness committee or be a wellness champion, within their department. And it's also for those who may not, be ready to commit to the full program. It's a great way to get your feet wet. So, excuse me. In this program right now, and this program and our master level, they both do the same modules. There are changes coming down the pipeline in 2017 in February, and our next program will not be offered till February because we're going through some more changes. But you'll see in our bonus that anyone that signs up for our program now gets to access our new program in 2017 for free. So that's really exciting, and I make that available, for those who are webinar participants and who sign up within the next 24 hours, as you'll find out. So we have in this program and our master, they're both 10-week programs. and they include 6 online modules and activities, 5 interactive webinars through the platform you're seeing today. Excuse me. Workplace wellness toolkits, case studies, webinars. We have such a comprehensive program, guys. It's incredible. We offer e-newsletters, and they'll be coming out more in the future. We have an ambassador Facebook group and a lunch and learn database for our ambassador level. And so basically what happens at this level, over the first 6 weeks, you do the modules and discussions and group activities. And then in the last 4 weeks, you prepare an independent lunch and learn workshop. And that's a certification requirement, and then also participation in 3 of the 5 webinars. So at our master level, this is really a more high level, if you will. I'm pretty well 95% of our participants go in this level because it's so rich, and really it's only priced at, a couple $100 more. So it's really a no-brainer in my opinion. So for career opportunities, we have our ambassadors in coordinating roles as coordinators, consultants, program trainers, coaches, presenters. Again, it's a 10-week program with 6 online modules and 2 discussion activities per module. So with our ambassador level, they complete 6 discussion posts, which are basically a paragraph each, basically from what was in the module or video of that module. And they're really applied learning. So all the discussions and group activities are very experiential and applied, and use your experience to answer your questions. And you get to learn from other people's experiences, because that's how we learn, right? As adult learners, we really learn from our experiences and applying that. And then same thing, all the other things. But with this program, you get a wellness campaign library or database of past, current, and future projects that our ambassadors create. And that really gives you the toolkits to really hit the ground running when you finish as ambassadors in the program, or master ambassadors. And the wellness campaign is only available to the master level. You also get virtual health coaching, a master ambassador toolkit, mastermind support group, and we'll talk about them in just a bit. And for certification for this program, again, it's 12 discussion posts completed, participation of 4 of our 5 webinars. And if, for example, you can't meet all those criteria because you're sick or something happens, an emergency, I do allow, with permission, for you to watch a replay for a couple of webinars and send a summary. And that's, really only if it's sort of an emergent issue that you couldn't make it. But otherwise, we really ask that you attend 4 of the 5 webinars to be certified. And also in the last 4 weeks, the first level, they prepare an independent project. As master level, you prepare a group wellness campaign. And that is really, I think maybe Paula or June can speak to their experience in that in just a bit. But that really is the creme de la creme of the program and one of the big highlights. And you learn so much from working in a group project, developing a campaign for you to use and for others to use. And then that goes into our campaign library for future use. So for program delivery, basically what happens, as I said, is a 10-week program. And I've already mentioned there's 4 weeks of certification projects. And then our program is largely delivered through a Ruzuku eLearning platform, the Zoom platform you're on today, and other technologies that we'll introduce you to, such as Google Docs, Basecamp, email, Facebook groups for doing virtual collaboration at the group campaign project level. Here is a quick look, a sneak peek of some of our screenshots from our Ruzuku platform. So to the left is a snapshot of our archive, our library of webinars and presentations. And we've got, if you look at all the little dots here on the top of the left screen, that's how many presentations we have already, and it's growing by the program. So, and you'll have access to this campaigns and libraries and everything after the program, of course. So you can go back in and watch those that you couldn't watch during the program as refreshers as well. And to the right is a look at one of our modules, our module 1. And in the purple, you'll see a question, and then you post your response to the question. So again, it doesn't take a lot of time or effort, for responding to, but then we encourage group interaction and replies to each other's posts. And that really is how you get to learn and synthesize and apply what's in each of the modules. Here is a look at our skill development chart. These are some of the many skills our ambassadors and master ambassadors receive that really well positions them for coaching and contracting contracts or employment, both on-site and virtually, and really helps to enhance career coaching skill sets and so many other areas professionally. So in the purple here, they're ones that are specifically honed in the master, and the blue and purple basically, you know, as masters, you get all these skill set developments, and the blue are more ones that you'll get as a doing the first level of the program. So tremendous skill sets, and really good skill sets too for those needing, you know, continuing education credits for different professional organizations. Most times, you know, you can use this program because it's really a lot of hours that you can log for any CECs that you may need for professional development. Here's a look at our industry experts. These are our KWC associates, and as ambassadors and master ambassadors, you get access to them. You know, they're at your fingertips to help you succeed in your work. Here is a look at our 3 presenters of this program. Dr. James Kelly, he's really fun. I actually did a recent interview with him on his podcast. So if you want to check him out, he's has a really dynamic podcast called Brave Endurance Wellness Podcast. He's out of the US. He's also a marketing professor, and he's going to talk about consumer behavior and wellness, and really how do you position consumer, you know, wellness in organizations and yourself as ambassadors to really create robust programs. Vina, as I mentioned, is going to be speaking on laughter yoga for workplace productivity, health, and wellness. And Pam is our newest associate. She's going to be introducing basic office ergonomics and safe work practices. And that's a really great new module we're adding to our program. And you'll learn more about that in the program. So really our program, you know, we position ourselves as a global leader in experiential, interactive, and facilitator online certification program training. Here's a look at our support groups. So to the far left actually is our KWC ambassador group. So this is a really interactive group, and we support each other every day. We're on helping each other as health coaches with issues, as workplace wellness consultants, and you know, any challenges we're having, any support. We use each other as focus groups to bounce ideas off of. I just recently posted something yesterday, and the group, you know, within minutes helped me with it. So I use the group as a focus group for myself as well. For those who may not be, I think most of you are, we have a Workplace Wellness Professionals Facebook group that you can join. You just email me or just go to Facebook and request to be added. And we also have a LinkedIn group called Workplace Wellness Ambassadors. And these groups, 2 groups, really get to help promote our ambassadors to industry as well. So let's take a look at, again, what's involved in our program. So here's just a few more icons, images, if you will, of what you get as a recap. And on the bottom, this is a sample of our handouts, tip sheets, program toolkits that you get throughout the program. And it's quite extensive. And I think you'll be quite wowed when you see just how much you get in our program. Here's just a look at the modules themselves. So in Module 1, we look at Workplace Wellness Essentials. Module 2 goes into Assessment, Design, and Implementation. Module 3 looks at Workplace Wellness Campaigns and how you develop them. Module 4 looks at how we promote and communicate and market workplace wellness within organizations and to the C-suite for them to buy into if they don't already have workplace wellness going on in their organization or, say, a company you're working with. Module 5 looks at wellness leadership fundamentals. So how do we lead as wellness ambassadors? How do we be self-leaders? How do we get our C-suite involved? How do we get people really becoming champions in the organization to create really strong engagement in our programs? And Module 6 looks at wellness program evaluations. So, you know, it's really important in our work that we measure and evaluate, you know, are we having some impacts in the work we're doing, and capture that through surveys and evaluations to be able to feed back to management to show, you know, the successes and the gains we're making through our programs. Okay. So here is a look at our wellness library. And let me backtrack for a second. Yeah, I just wanted to skip over this quickly. These are the bonuses that you get in the program, and I'll speak to them more. And I have some other additional bonuses coming up as well, but these are program bonuses that everyone gets especially when they sign up the master program. You get all of these bonuses here on the screen. At the ambassador level, you get just these top ones. Okay. Here's a look at another image from our wellness library. This was actually Health Enhancement Systems. They're a leading wellness provider in the US, and they were kind enough to prepare a half-hour video to show our ambassadors what an online you know, challenge might look like. And these are uploaded to companies through their wellness portals, their learning management systems. And this is called, you know, I think it's Health Trails. So it's a campaign where participants in their organization, employees, get to participate in groups, and they bring up some really neat little campaign images. Now, these are a lot more sophisticated, obviously, than what you'll be developing as ambassadors or masters, but it gives you some really, it'll give you some really good ideas maybe to create some thoughts around how you can create a campaign that's, you know, maybe not electronically delivered, but certainly gives you some ideas. And so this was really exciting to see, you know, there, and it was really quite, I was really quite grateful that they did this, because they went out of their way to create a half-hour webinar. So after, when you finish as ambassadors in our program, you will you know, have access to another vendor, if you will, and they'll be top of mind. And so if you work for a company and they're ready to get into online gamification, I would certainly highly endorse Health Enhancement Systems. And they also have on their website a robust library of information that you can avail of as well. So check them out. This is a sample of our wellness campaign. So we have 8 to date, and as you see, they cover they span a lot of different areas, because we really want to get into meeting the needs of employees. Remember, I talked about the non-traditional workplace wellness programs. Well, we get into community well-being, emotional well-being, stress mastery, personal effectiveness, team building, mindfulness, and, you know, nutrition and fitness through our healthy eating and other programs. So each program, we develop different theme campaigns, and then I give you a theme, and then you come up with the title and the components of the campaign. And these, and then at the end of the program, you actually present, as a group, you present back to the group at large through our last webinar, your campaign. So really exciting, and we bring in industry experts to evaluate your presentations as well, so you get that feedback as well. Here's a look at our marketing toolkit. So this was recently created, and some of the program pieces here are still in works, but we've got most of them finished now. So you have a broad and a condensed brochure to use to introduce yourself to employers. On the bottom left, you'll get a template for a rack card to produce, like you see there. We give you a proposal and a cover sheet, as you see, for proposing to your existing company or client employers. We give you a document on pricing options and guidelines, and go over that in our mastermind sessions. So at our master level, you get 3 mastermind sessions after the program to really help implement and, you know, further develop your marketing skills and work as a group on that front, and also further learn how to take what you've learned in the program and really synthesize it and apply it, you know, as you're moving forward, to help you become successful as ambassadors in your work and consultants. Here's a look at our Wellness Ambassadors at Work YouTube series. And to date, I've interviewed several of our ambassadors and master ambassadors. And so you can check that out on Kelly Wellness YouTube. And I also just recently uploaded a WOW presentation series. They're a little quick 3-minute video series. So check them out, because there are really some really neat tips there on how to effectively deliver presentations and workshops. We also have, and this is something really exciting that is just in the works. We are going to be actively promoting through different means our master ambassadors to industry and employers. And so this is in the works, and we'll probably be ramping up for the fall when you're finished the program to start marketing our ambassadors. And that will be done. I mean, we're not a placement agency, but we're really going to make this directory available somehow to employers to really help expose the work that our ambassadors, masters are doing, and open them up for maybe coaching, consulting opportunities virtually or on site, and also introduce our focus program to the employer market. And I'll talk about that in just a second. And so this is a really exciting new initiative coming out of Kelly Wellness that will really help boost the profile and help support our masters. Here's a look, and this is just a sample of some of the support you'll get, say, in the mastermind and through our marketing toolkit. So we give you pricing, you know, guidelines, and this really varies, but, you know, some of our ambassadors right now are out earning between $250 and $300 a session as a lunch and learn, or even more. Our workshops, they're getting anywhere from $400 to $600. Full day workshops anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500. Again, maybe more. Really depends on the nature of the workshop, the employees, group, size of the organization, how much work is involved, any pre-work. So there's a lot of variables there, but you know, it gives you a point. So really, I always say, you know, in all honesty, that doing one event can pay for the course, this whole program, and then some. So there's some really, you know, good revenue opportunities to be had in that. And there's also opportunities for, you know, short-term, long-term consulting contracts, and we talk about more in our program and mastermind about how to position yourself for that. And conceivably, you could take on 1 or 2 contracts along with other work that you do, and, you know, work for employers, and they get all your expertise without having to pay for you as a full-time employee, and they save on the cost of benefits then. So it's really a win-win for everyone. So here's a look at our specialized programs. We have our Focus on Healthy Eating program coming. This is going to be one of our bonus offerings. It's a 12-week program that will lend itself to on-site or virtual health coaching, and it's really going to be a new approach to healthy weight management and healthy eating. So we have a team of experts and health coaches who are actually creating that now, and we've got it framed out and it's in development. And so this will be really exciting initiative, and it's going to be a really great gateway for our masters, and it's only available at the master level. This will be a great gateway for our masters to introduce themselves to employers, because, you know, who doesn't want a healthy eating program at their work site? And so this will really open you up for other work as well with companies. Our specialized programs and services also include, as I said, our new ergonomics and safe work practices. And this is quite exciting because you're going to really be positioned above any other, pretty well most other workplace wellness leaders out there, because our other, many others are not involving ergonomics and safe work practices, and this is a really big need area for employers, so we brought this into the fold in our training. And so you'll get that in this program and through our webinar and modules. Also, our master ambassadors have the option when they want, and we have several signed up already, to partner with Stress Master International, and you get to use their questionnaires, toolkits to deliver stress mastery and resilience training programs with your employer or clients. And you can also bring this out to your health coaching clients as well. And so there are fees applied, as I've said here, but you know, it's really quite affordable when you look at the returns you can get. And also our master ambassadors get a preferred fee going through our program. And so James is wonderful, Dr. James Peterson. He's wonderful to work with, and we're really getting some excitement going around that. Here's a quick look at some testimonials. Again, Dr. James Peterson of Stress Master said, "Lisa, your program is the gold standard for wellness certification training." And Courtney, one of our masters, really said every workplace wellness company should send their employees for this training. And that was quite gratifying because she has a master's level in this field. And so she said she learned more in our program. And at that time, I think it was 8 weeks, not 10 weeks. And she learned more in our program than, you know, than she did in her, or as much certainly as and a different scope and you know, some resources than she did in her master level. So that was really encouraging to hear. Okay, and then John Toomey, he's out of Australia. He's one of our associates. He quite highly praises the program. And Joan here, she's out of the US, and she's one of our masters as well. We also have an affiliate program. So I just want to quickly touch on that. So anyone who signs up for our program in the next few days can avail of this program. And within the next week, if they want to promote if we have some openings, they can promote that to any contacts and earn between $75 or $100. So if someone signed up for the ambassador program, you would get $75 as a referral fee. If they signed up for the master, you get $100. And so we have a number of our masters who've already earned money this term from referring people with new program registrants. So here's a quick overview of our program. So it's very experiential applied learning that really gives you hands-on experience. We offer a solid foundation of knowledge, resources, and materials to really help launch a new career in workplace wellness. We help you elevate an existing career for professional growth and development. You really are able to hit the ground running with our growing resource library, okay? And we offer industry expert coaching support both during and after the program through our social media groups and through our 3 mastermind sessions, and also through our private coaching that you'll get as a bonus to this program. So speaking of bonuses, here is a quick look at our bonuses. So we have 3, and just pay attention please, because these are only 24 hours. They're only available for 24 hours. So by this time tomorrow, the offer, you know, will be taken off the table, if you will. And I'm not, you know, I got to be honest, guys, I'm not one of these salesy high pitched, so I'm not going to pitch it to you. I'm just going to tell you what they are. And, you know, if it's a value to you, you can certainly consider registering, because I want whoever registers for our program, and I really want them to make an informed decision, and they really want to be committed to the program. And that's one of the reasons why I have this extensive webinar, and I've offered so many, because whoever signs up, I want them to make really informed decisions so they know, you know, what they're getting for their money and the time they're committing and what they can get going forward through our program. So our bonuses are valued at $1,500, and there are three, as I've said. One is our Focus on Healthy Eating program, which will be launched in this coming fall, and that's approximately valued, it could even be more, at $497. But the beauty, guys, is that not only do you get the program at no additional charge, because it will be a fee in the future, you will also be waived for any annual membership fees to deliver this program. So that's where I say $497 plus, because that annual fee will probably be $100 plus in US funds. So that's quite incredible to have that opportunity. And we did that as a thank you to people that signed up in our first launch year. And going forward, I don't anticipate these being offered as free bonuses by any means. Also, I'm very generously offering 2 hours private coaching time, which is valued at over $500 with myself, and my rates are going up. So this is incredible, you know, to get 2 free hours with me through this bonus offering. And as I mentioned before, as a third offering, you'll get free enrollment in our new ambassador program that will be coming in February of 2017. There will be 10 new level 1 modules that you'll get to, you know, learn and train, and they're going to be incredible as well. And I haven't got them priced out, but they're probably going to be around, you know, $600 price point. And our program in general will be increasing, so that in the new year, we won't be offering again until 2017. But to do the master level, you'll have to do, it'll be a sequential program. So you'll have to do the first level to then do the second level. And it'll probably be priced at well over $1,200, which will be more in line with industry pricing. And we've kept our pricing really low for this time around, being in our launch year. Here's a look at our dates. So we start April 4th, go till June 11th. Our webinar dates are listed here. We have 5 webinars. We also have, because Memorial Weekend falls in there in May 28th, we also have a Wednesday option as well in the evening for May 25th for those who may be away, and that's going to be the ergonomics training. So we really wanted to make that available to everyone. Here are our program pricing. So for the ambassador level, it's $497 USD. I have generously waived the early bird, or extended the early bird, I should say. And so if you sign up within the next 24 hours, you will get the early bird rate, because our early bird deadline was 21st of March. And you can also pay by installments of a 3-payment plan. Our master rate, and I'll give the early bird today, it's $697 or 3 payments of $289. Okay, and there you can find all this on our homepage at kellywc.com. We have our brochure there. So just as a recap before we get into any questions, as I said, our programs will not be offered again until February 2017, because in the fall we're going through some program changes and further development in our phase 3. And as well, we are rolling out our focus program, so that's going to be a lot of attention given to that. And I also said there was a big announcement. We are really excited to say we were just awarded a big contract out of Los Angeles, and our program will be introduced as modules to several different employers across, well, probably US and globally within the years to come. And this is really going to help also elevate and expose our, you know, master ambassadors and ambassadors for the work they do, and really put them in the know in industry. And so that's really incredible. And we're also hoping to somehow connect maybe our directory in with that, that contract, so that further profiles and introduces our ambassadors and masters in particular to industry. So as I said, our programs also have a limited enrollment of 25 to really help, you know, with small group support and individual support. And I really felt that was important. So we don't have a huge enrollment. And so another reason why we encourage people to sign up as soon as possible for rewarding and transformational career opportunities, if you will. So really, we encourage you, if you're interested, to really register within the next few hours, or certainly by you know, this time tomorrow, to receive our 3 bonuses that are again only available within the 24-hour period to those who attend our webinar. We so to register, go to kellywc.com. And I've also posted in throughout all my social media the direct link to our sales and registration page. But if you don't see that, just mark down kellywc.com with a triple W, of course, in front. And you'll see our brochure page on our homepage, and you can just access our registration information there. Okay, so just to end off, our ambassadors really do help create engaged, vibrant, and healthy workplaces. And so with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to bring up everyone's lovely faces and see if anyone has any questions from our group here. And I haven't had a chance to check our chat. I'm not sure if we had anyone else join in since I started the program or not. Paula, did you see anyone else join in, or maybe not? No, I'm not sure. Are you there, Paula? You're on mute there, Paula.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I thought I took it off.
Yeah.
No, there weren't any questions in the chat, but could I speak for a moment here?
I'd love for you to. Yes, please.
Okay. To all of your listeners, in support of Lisa's program, I completed it back in December, and aside from all those bonuses, what she has to offer is unbelievable. Every time I have a question in my mind, I go back to the resources, and the answers are there. On top of the fact that the availability of the other members that went through the program with me, and like Lisa's saying, our Facebook group, that someone's there. I feel like I'm not alone in doing anything that I am actually on board working with. And so I just want you to understand that there really is a lot there. And then I just want to lightly mention, well, not lightly, because I really enjoyed this part, the campaign that when we have isn't it about a month that we have for creating the campaign?
Mm-hmm. A little bit more this time, actually, with the new program in this
okay.
spring.
The campaign was just such an awesome experience in the fact that it helped me to realize more of what's the word I'm looking for? My talents, my skills, that I was able to bring out. The group itself actually brought it out in me and made me feel, more secure. And even now I keep, I reflect back to what we did and how much time we spent. This is a commitment. I have to be very honest with you. This is a commitment, but it's a commitment that is really fostered and makes you want to continue being committed, because you're developing something and you realize you're learning, so much gold here. So just for you to understand that part. And then the fact that at the end of the campaign, when you put this all together, you're in awe of, where you started off and how you ended up is just really amazing.
I can just add, like, I'm such a wuss, I really am, but I I get to tears, like, when I see the presentations, because I'm like, I'm amazed that groups came together, 4 people, these groups came together from all walks of life and all areas of the globe.
Yeah.
And it's just incredible. It's just incredible. So thank you, Paula. Yes. And you're absolutely right. I think one of the beauties of this program too, the fascinating fact is that a lot of our ambassadors and masters really realize skills and strengths they didn't even know they had in them, and yeah, I see June shaking her head. So June, would you like to add to that or make a quick comment? Thank you, Paula.
You're welcome.
Yes, I agree with Paula. I really surprised myself with some of the assignments, and I really appreciated the assignments because they really build a person and strengthen them in your creativity and your confidence. And I took a lot of different trainings, and these assignments really surpassed any of the other ones. They were a little bit of work, but like when you get them done and you look back at them, it's like, wow, I did that.
Yeah, and the nice thing too, and I still want to encourage our masters, because you have such a resource database to draw from for both your health coaching, excuse me, and your work as masters in your workplace wellness consulting. So, even if you never, which 90% of people do, go into some level of workplace wellness coaching or consulting, whether with their companies or as their independent consultants. But even if you never used it for that purpose, the depth of information you have to bring to your own health coaching practice as well. And you can use that, all the campaigns, the handouts, resources, and just incredible. And it really sets you apart from the other people in the industry that you're competing against, you know, and we have a lot of IINs out there who have very similar campaigns. So this really sort of differentiates you and sets you apart in that regard as well, I think. So yeah, thank you, June. I appreciate that. So let's open up to the group. We have, you know, a few minutes left, and I'll stay on as long as we need to answer.
Martha has a question there in the chat box.
Sure.
You might want to read.
Yeah, I will read it. So Martha said, hi, there is an HR director that has invited me to come as a certified health coach to conduct a clean eating presentation for their employees. However, they always state they do not have much of a budget. How do you handle this issue? Also, I have a health coaching practice. I'm assuming all the tools you're offering for me to approach corporations for workshops. Thank you. Yeah, she had to jump off soon. Yes, Martha, definitely. We give you all the support and help you navigate around any budgetary issues and help you really show the value. And so, you know, it's a given. Some companies will have a bigger budget than others, and some companies you might have to educate them on why it's important for them to invest in this. And, you know, once they see our really informative and valuable tools that we have in our marketing toolkit and our brochures and our rack cards, and really start realizing that, you know, if they're going to position themselves well in industry, they really need to bring workplace wellness on board. And a number of employers are actually getting industry awards because they have workplace wellness programs in their organizations. And that really positions them well for, you know, employee recruitment, for retention, you know, for getting funding in some cases for their organization. And one of our masters is actually potentially working with an city in the US that I can't say too much, but again, they really want to have a workplace wellness program brought in because they're after a certain award, and that was one of the components that they did not have yet in their organization. So she's going to work with them on bringing in workplace wellness training. As we speak today, we have another master here in Canada. I'm really excited about this. She's working with an organization, and that was just for going and knocking on doors and meeting with them. And now she's actually in a presentation as we speak. Otherwise, she would have been here today in the call because she was in last week's. But she's actually working on a really big contract opportunity now. And so that's really exciting. And that's also involving the Stress Master program that she's signed up with. So really, really exciting opportunities available there for everyone. And we have still a few minutes remaining. If anyone else had any questions, we can just go through the group.
I have a couple questions.
Hi, Sherry.
Hi. I decided to put my hair up and try to be somewhat presentable. So a couple questions that I was kind of thinking about as you were presenting is, you know, I have been a mom for 16, 17, 18 years and really have been out of the workplace. So, you know, I did my IIN program a couple of years ago, struggling to kind of really make some kind of consistent income. And I'm kind of curious because, you know, I've really been processing through this. Maybe getting into the workplace, maybe going corporate is more of a place to be where I could potentially earn some kind of consistent income. But I've not been in the workplace myself for a long time. So I don't know if I really know exactly how to relate to issues of what people are having when they show up 8 to 5 or whatever in an office.
No, I mean, really, truly, the issues, I've left full-time, you know, corporate about 10 years ago and gone back. I continue, of course, going back doing corporate consulting work. And the issues, I mean, they're not that different. I mean, there's technology issues in that, but you become very quickly up to speed, and you will be amazed at just how quickly, you know, you'll fall into line there. And the bottom line is that wellness issues are the same. You know, everyone has the same wellness issues, and that's really what you're speaking to. And then from an organizational perspective, you very much get on board with, you know, with their objectives and that. And we coach you a lot in our program. And so you learn how to speak the corporate speak through our program. And I have a very strong HR background, training and development background, a master's in adult education. So I think that's what makes this program so strong, is I have my health coaching, personal training, all those skill sets I did on the side, along with my several business degree and HR degree and master's degree and everything else. So to answer your question then, so you really get coached as well in those areas that you may feel that you're, you know, not quite up to par with. And yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Can I just say something?
Sure.
Sherry, I was pretty much in that same realm, you know, when I came on board, and where I'm at, like I said, once again, is that I mean, I've never been in corporate myself. I've never had that corporate lingo. I've been in healthcare all my life, and it's a completely way I look at things. It's just so different. So, you know, as I'm going into it, I'm reaching out to, you know, the people that were in the class with me into the Facebook group, and going back and reading, you know, going to the resources, which helps, you know, empowers me. And also that belief, like Lisa was saying, is that wellness is wellness, you know. And so I have to look, you know, I sometimes put on my nurse's cap and look out and say, you know, these people really don't know as much as I have to offer them.
Yeah.
So I'm also an IIN grad, and, you know, as I go out, and I've done workshops, you know, I've done sugar workshops. And in the beginning, when I went out, started doing this public speaking, I was very nervous, but then I realized a lot of people really don't know this stuff. And so I stand up there as an authority in the sense of knowing more and sharing. And, you know, everything just sort of starts to fall into place.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
Tammy had a question. What's IIN? Sorry, Tammy. We take a lot for granted these days. IIN is Institute of Integrative Nutrition. It's a health coaching program out of the US. So we have a number of IIN graduates who are health coaches in our,
So are you able then to use it in other places, like the education that we get from going through your information? You know, could I even use some of these programs outside of corporate?
I think I've said that several times in the presentation. Very much can use it with your health coaching clients as well. So it's twofold. As I said, if for some reason down the road you decided workplace wellness wasn't for you, you get all the materials that are very much applicable, because health and wellness is health and wellness. So for example, our Focus on Healthy Eating program, you could launch that as a virtual 12-week campaign with your health coaching clients along with your workplace wellness, right? And all the campaigns and handouts and toolkits very much lend themselves to either, because as we both said, Paul and I, wellness is wellness. And so whether, you know, we're addressing as a employee group or otherwise. I think someone made a chat comment there. Oh yeah. Link yourself with, yeah. Okay. So, Tammy, did you have any questions? Sherry, did you have any others before we move to Tammy? Or are you?
I just, you know, just wondering. I know a couple people had mentioned, yeah, it's a commitment. I'm studying right now to recertify with my personal training. You know, so that's taking time. I still got 5 kids living at home. You know, I'm kind of a little concerned with, you know, just over, I guess, jumping into too many things, stretching myself a little too thin. So what kind of, you know, time commitment possibly on an hourly basis are we looking at every week?
Yeah. You know, I would say between 5 to 7 hours a week. I would encourage you to carve out, you know, an hour a night, or some do it more on the weekends. So they, you know, reserve 3 or 4 hours on the weekend. And then if you can't get to all the resources, then you can come back to it again after the program's completed. But I really encourage, and then when you get to the group project level, you're looking at about, you know, the same number of hours each week as well, depending on how involved you get in the group. But I would say you could base it, you know, definitely a good 4 to 5, you know, if you want 6 or 7 hours, but minimum probably 4 to 5 hours each week. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not a huge time commitment. And I think if you, as I'm sure you do, if you use your time well, and also too, when you get involved in the program, it doesn't become, you want to get involved because you get really caught up in the excitement of the program through the group discussions in our platform and that. And then you start working with your groups. And as I said, especially for yourself, we have a number of people involved in, you know, personal fitness training as well in our groups. And so you get that support as well from our participants.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Tammy, did you have a question? No, you're okay. Okay. Anyone else? Martha or Tara, Marcy? I'm not sure if there's any others, if you stepped away or if everyone's still there. Okay. All right. Well, if there are no other questions, Marcy, did you just come off mic? Did you have a question?
I do.
Okay.
I'm interested in you said 4 to 5 hours on top of the modules
that would include the modules too. That's sort of everything from looking at the videos to reading through the modules to answering the group discussion questions.
Okay, so, and the campaign part would be part of that.
Well, that comes after the module work.
Okay.
Yeah, that comes afterwards.
All right.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you.
So you basically work on the group work based on what you've learned from the module training, right? And the resources.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Good questions, guys. Just check chat. I don't know if there was. Okay. Any other from Tara or Martha? I'm not sure. Is Connie? Connie, are you still there? I'm not sure if Connie was still there. She had a question or not.
I'm still here, but I think everybody answered my question.
Okay, great. And like I said, I'll be sending out the replay. I'll post it on our YouTube channel as well if you want to look at it there if you have any questions, Connie. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All righty. Good. All right. Well, it's a few minutes past the hour. Sherry, did you have another question? Or?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to ask one quick thing. I know that you're on, oh my gosh, her name is like slipping my mind. She's got the WOW program.
Lori Kennedy?
Lori Kennedy, thank you. So, you know, I have gotten her weight loss program. I haven't used it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I can tend to be the type of person that buys all these programs and then they just kind of sit. And so, you know,
that won't happen in this program, I can assure you, because
really?
No,
Okay.
it won't. And that's the nice thing about this program. And I've had several people say to me, for one thing, there's a start and a finish. So you get your certification. It's not like a self-paced program where you never finish it. And that was several of the comments from people is that I really like that about the program. But you are very actively involved in our Facebook group. And so, and I will be on top of you. You know, I keep it, no, seriously, because I want you to be successful, obviously. And obviously it goes without saying, if you're successful, the program overall is successful, right? And as you're successful, then everyone's successful because we all learn. So this program's probably unlike, and maybe Paula and June can shake their head, is unlike other programs in that we really are a tight-knit group. And we really are a family of ambassadors. And so once you sign that, you know, line and put that credit card in, you know, you're committed, you know, and committed in the sense, in a good commitment that you're really helped every step of the way. And we provide endless amount of support. And I am really committed to helping my ambassadors become successful. And I think, you know, my ambassadors would probably attest to that.
Okay.
However,
yeah, because I know I did feel kind of even with her program and, you know, probably a couple others.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just kind of thrown in there and then you're like,
yeah,
what do I do? And, you know, and where's the support? And,
no, you get, and not just from myself, but from others as well. And we keep each other accountable, right?
Okay.
Paula and I actually, when Paula and I finish here now, I'm helping her with a coaching call on something because they got some coaching hours with me through the last program. So yeah, I mean, I really, and as the program grows, I won't be able to probably have as much coaching time, you know, because I'm going back in industry myself in the fall to do work. But I commit to what I've offered right now in terms of the Facebook, and I'll always be committed to my Facebook group and my mastermind group. And as I said, and if I can't help you, there's someone in the group who can. So you'll have lots of support.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. And just check chat. Okay, so someone asked about leads. You know, right now, yes, we're not a placement agency, but we really are going to be actively out there promoting our master ambassadors to the marketplace. And I do that through a lot of promotion, like I said, our YouTube videos, through, you know, articles I write and post in LinkedIn Pulse. And as we get more involved with this new contract out of Los Angeles, I'm really have ambitions of raising the profile of our masters through our employer directory and embedding that in this new contract. So, and I can really see a point within a year, maybe, you know, 16 months, that we are really going to, you know, maybe look towards actively promoting through some kind of a, you know, placement service. And that's one of my, you know, sort of out there goals. I don't know if it'll ever materialize, we'll see, but I would certainly, you know, it might be a branch of KWC we might get to down the point, but we'll see where that evolves to, and without, you know, any promises. But the bottom line is you are going to be very well positioned for work and through industry exposure and through the training you get and the toolkit resources as well for our marketing kit. So, you know, rest assured you will have ample support. So any other questions? It's about 11 minutes after, so I don't want to keep you too long. If you have any further questions or want to phone call me, that's fine. Just you have my email at info@kellywc.com. We have a number of people. I think at the last webinar, we had everyone that attended actually registered, so that was pretty validating. So I really encourage you to sign up for the bonuses, guys. They will make a big difference in your program, and the bonuses will be available until this time tomorrow. So really encourage you to really give it some serious thought. And if any questions remain, certainly email me. Otherwise, have a good day. Thank you, June and Paula. Paula, I'll stay on with you for our coaching call. And if there's no further questions, I will see you, hopefully, some of you in our program, maybe all of you in our program starting April 4th, which is just a week away, week and a bit. So take care, everyone. Thank you.